What's going on, folks? Ted from Immersion here, and I had full intention of making a Black Friday video, but hey, it's not the end of holiday sales. We are still in the time of Cyber Monday as of me recording this video, so this will serve as a bunch of Cyber Monday deals you can find here on Amazon, but these will also work for, obviously, Cyber Monday deals, but you can take these after the fact as well to just utilize them for your favorite TTRPG player, whether that's to get the deals for yourself or for them now, or even as we get closer to the actual holidays at the end of the year, if you want to pick something up for that, you can still use this list, though I can't speak to what sales or what prices you'll actually have available once that happens. But let's go ahead and dive in. If you like this kind of stuff, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, anything you pick up from the links in the video description for the things I talk about here are Amazon affiliate links, so I will benefit slightly monetarily if you choose to use those links. All right, so starting out first, the Elegoo Neptune 4 Max 3D printer. Now, this is a little bit more on the pricey side. Sure, I understand that. And there obviously is the Neptune 4, which is significantly smaller. But I don't think if you have an understanding of how big a 420 by 420 by 480 build platform is, this is going to allow you to print all manner of things in one go without having to do multiple slicing situations, right? This will easily print a helmet, full-size helmet, and all sorts of different things. If you're going to be using this, whether that's for cosplay or for to print, minis, you're going to be printing like god tier threat minis on this machine, or you want to print, busts of your character for, whatever you want to do. This is definitely the machine for you, and, it's solid FDM platform here from Elegoo. Now, if you're looking to go for a little bit more detail on the resin side of things, the Elegoo Mars 5 is available right now for only $189. This is a really good deal for a very high quality printer. This is a 4K printer. This is going to get you a ton of detail. We're talking microns on your layer lines here. The only downside about any kind of resin printer, if you're unfamiliar, is just the process of the fumes and everything that goes along with that. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit bigger in the resin market, Elegoo does have the Saturn 4 12K, which is a significantly larger build plate. Again, great details on a lot of these. Almost every Elegoo printer is, excuse me, on sale this Cyber Monday, but find what one works best for you. Also, if you're going to be using the resin, they do have a wash and cure station, right? Resin, when it's when it's just off the print bed, you're going to need to wash it in some sort of isopropyl alcohol or something to help finish curing, clear off any of the wet resin, and then put it in a UV light to get it to finish curing before you can safely handle it without gloves on. If you are going to go for an FDM style printer, all manner of filament is on sale. I'm a huge fan of the Creality Hyper PLA filament. That's one of my personal favorites, but look around. You can basically just search 3D printing filament on Cyber Monday deals here on Amazon, and you'll find all manner, whether you're looking for a specific color, color shift, silk, translucent, you name it, they're going to have something available. Same thing with resin, right? If you're going to be going with a resin printer, take a look, see what color you want. There's a variety of different colors, some are plant-based, less VOCs, a variety of different options for you. This is the time to stock up on this kind of stuff because the deals are really great. Well, maybe you don't want to 3D print something, but you want to resin cast something. Maybe you want to look into making your own resin dice. I've seen a huge boom in dice making over the past 10 years, really over the past 5 years. A bunch of people have broken out into making your own dice, and there's a lot that goes into that. And obviously, at some point, if you do want to do this kind of professionally or semi-professionally, you'll come up with your own master molds and you'll cast them yourself. But if you want to get an idea of what goes into that, well, the folks over at Let's Resin here in this link have just a couple of standard set of 7 dice molds. There's a couple of different options out there. This is only $7. I don't know how many pulls you're going to get out of these, but honestly, for $7, it might be worth figuring out if resin casting dice is something you're even interested in. Because you could do all sorts of crazy things like inclusions and whatnot and figure out what you like. Is this something you want to do more seriously, right? You could do this by yourself with just, a little bit of resin and some time. Obviously, if you have a pressure pot to pull all of the bubbles and things out, it's going to be a lot better, but you can get an idea of what you're dealing with a relatively cheap investment here. Speaking of that, you're also going to need to get some kind of resin to fill those molds. Now, this is a gallon of resin. I probably would go with something a little bit smaller, but you can see they have a whole variety of different kits for dyeing and, powders and things to change up that resin to do all sorts of different things with it, depending on whether you want to just cast something crystal clear or you want to add something. Maybe you're a huge fan. I don't know if this is, woodworking grade that you would want to use to make like a resin river table. But again, a gallon of epoxy casting resin for 60 bucks is not too bad. So again, you can look around, you'll find different versions of this, but if you are going to get into resin casting, resin's going to be a part of that. All right, moving on out of the maker space, let's get a little bit silly here. How about a D20 Bath Bomb with a full set of polyhedral dice inside? It says it's inspired. It's this dragon blood bath bomb. You can see it right here. It's this pink design. It's only 12 bucks, and it's going to get somebody a full set of dice inside. Now, obviously, they have some very interesting static stock art here. Again, they talk a little bit about the ingredients, and you're going to get a whole set of dice. Now, obviously, maybe this isn't for you, but this could maybe be a good gift for someone that wants to maybe pamper themselves, or maybe it is for you. But, give somebody a bath bomb and then also get them a whole set of dice at the same time. Speaking of, if you're looking for maybe not bath bomb, but maybe some candles, this was a random thing I came across. A set of D20 dice candles, although one of them is a snowman at the end. But yeah, it's just a series of Christmas candles, and some of these are shaped like D20s. All right, moving on. We've talked about it before. We're going to talk about it again. Pens, right? If you are still living in a world, especially if you're playing pen and paper and not using a virtual tabletop, but even if you are using a virtual tabletop, you're going to have to take notes, or at least you probably should be taking notes. Or maybe you're the dungeon master and you're writing down your own notes in your notebook to keep track of what's happening in the session, whether this is just scratch paper to manage HP for monsters or your actual full planned session notes. I find that if I have the right pen in hand, things flow smoother. Maybe this is just me. I don't know. I think some of you have come out and agreed with me with this. If the feeling of the pen gliding on the page isn't quality to me, I don't enjoy the experience and it will take me out of it, and I may not spend as much time prepping. I'm a huge fan of Sharpie S gel pens. They come in a variety of different colors, as you can see. So if maybe different colors you need for your DM notes to track where monsters are or DCs or whatever, they come in a variety of different colors. They also come in a variety of different body colors as well. There's black here. I've seen them in white, silver, rose gold, you name it. But a 12 pack for $8 is a pretty good deal. Although if you were like me before you learned of Sharpie S gel pens, you're probably a fan of the old Pilot G2s. This was my go-to pen for the longest time before I learned about the Sharpie S gels. These also come in a variety of colors, and actually a significantly larger amount of colors beyond just black, blue, and red. If you're willing to look for them, you can get them in green, purple, you name it. You can get like a 42 pack of just a variety of different colors. But again, I feel the right pen really does help make the prep session go better. All right, next up here, let's talk notebooks. We talked about pens. You're going to need a place to catalog this. Whether you're a player or a DM, a good journal of some kind. I personally, I don't know what it is. I cannot do spiral bound notebooks for D&D because I always feel like I'm ending up ripping out the pages. So I like a more bound back notebook, whether that's just something as simple as a marble notebook or something a little bit more specific. So this one here is only $13. And again, it's got a little bit, you can see it's a larger size here, and it's just got a nice little series of D20s and things on the outside. These hero notebooks here from Dungeon Craft, I have a couple of these myself. I also happen to see that the first one that popped up for me was the orange ones, which also, coincidence, is the ones that I have. Though they do come in a variety of different colors, and you do get a 3-pack that you could either use for yourself or multiple characters, or share with friends. And for $14, it's a pretty good deal to, even if you want to do split them up and pass them out. We have a little bit more fancier notebook here in this Durotan journal here. As you can see, it's got ring bind in the inside here. So if you want to go ahead and pull out the leaves and get new leaves to go ahead and add more in, they have a variety of different designs as well. And this one looks a little bit more in world, if you will, as a leather bound book here. Again, I do find I like these more for just myself when I'm writing in these. Again, I get one for each character that I'm going to be playing. We have a couple other ones here. This one here, we've got a little bit of a combination lock on the front. It comes in a variety of different colors and designs. And again, nothing too crazy here, but we do have a pen holder on a side. It is, got the opportunity to refill the leaves in the inside. And, the little silly bookmarks, they might seem like kind of a silly thing, but honestly, if you're trying to keep track of multiple areas within your notes or something like that, that can go a long way. And again, 240 pages, 12 bucks. And again, if you want to go a little bit more in depth, we have this one here from Monster. This is the deluxe stat tracker. Obviously, as you can see here on the left-hand side, you have essentially your 5e character sheet with 50 different character sheets to include in there. We also have basically like a legal pad, scratch pad over here on this side, as well as in the middle, things like for tracking your level. Some of these are probably not necessary, like your experience tracker, although maybe if your game does track it, it's useful, as well as you probably don't need a level tracker or proficiency bonus tracker. But either way, you've got the number of inspirations you have, your hit points. These are probably going to be the most useful as your max hit points, your current hit points, and your temp hit points. Those are going to be useful because those will change pretty consistently. And then again, you've got trackers for your various gold pieces, as well as your success and failures on your death saving throws. We do have a little bit of felt storage down the bottom, so we can either use that to store dice or as a mini rolling tray. And then again, it does have a magnetic closure, and it has a nice wooden top here to kind of keep everything together. Personally, if I were the folks at Monster, I would have gone for a spell tracker over copper, silver, electrum, gold, platinum tracking. Again, I realize that not every character uses spells, but I think that's going to be more far-reaching than people minutia tracking their actual individual pieces of gold. But who knows? All right. This one's, for me, more than anything, Death Wish coffee. Any coffee, really, you're going to need energy if you're DMing or you're playing. You're going to get into those long sessions, whether they be online, whether you're playing with folks in a different time zone, and one of you needs to be on DGen hours, whatever the case may be. Something to give you that extra boost of energy is useful. And again, any kind of coffee will do the trick, or energy drinks. I'm a big coffee guy. Most of you know that about me. Death Wish is a great cup of coffee. So I would go with that. And you know what? It's on sale right now for Cyber Monday. This one's a little bit different here. This is, again, if you have a young adventurer in your life and you want to kind of get them into the world of Dungeons and Dragons, and maybe you're not ready to kind of pull them into a full-blown campaign, although I'll be honest, it's a lot easier than you think, and I may make a series on that at some point, because I've been running a game for my 5-year-old and my 7-year-old, as well with some other friends as well. But the Young Adventurers collection here, this is 4 books, and it kind of gives you high-level stuff, as you can see here, right? Monsters and creatures, warriors and weapons, dungeons and tombs, and wizards and spells. It's all illustrated with a lot of great art in there as well, and it just kind of showcases a variety of different things in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. And to get all 4 of them for $14 is a pretty solid deal. You can definitely pass this on to the young adventurer in your life. All right, let's get more into the DMing side of here. We're going to talk about how about some maps, right? Whether you're going to be, maybe you haven't graduated to the point where you want to get into the world of 3D terrain, which, let's be honest, it's expensive and it's space taking, right? Whether this is you're 3D printing your own with maybe some of those printers we talked about from earlier, you're getting Warlock tiles from WizKids, tiles from Monster, Monster Fight Club. There's so many terrain companies now. Obviously the big one being Dwarven Forge as well. They're all great and I love them and I have many of them myself, but here's the thing. They take up a lot of space. Something can be said for just the old Chessex rollout, kind of plastic wet erase map or dry erase map. And this is a 9-pack of 24 by 36 1-inch grid dry erase mats. They also come with, I believe they come with the carrying case as well. So you can roll these up and store these and travel with them. And then again, obviously, do what you want. High quality, I think this is all either wet or dry erase. It says the map can easily and quickly be reversed with the curl, reversing the curl and combining it with the included clips. Oh, it even comes with the clips on the end. That's fantastic. I've never even seen this before. This is great. I love that. So you've obviously got these clips here to kind of solidify the ends there. And again, having the tube to throw them all in is great. It makes it easy to travel. You can obviously prep your maps ahead of time and then throw them in the tube, bring them with you, especially if they're wet erase. So you don't have to worry about them rubbing off just like a dry erase marker would. And for $31 for 9 maps, that's probably more than you'll ever need. I've gone my entire DMing career with just two 24 by 36 chess mats, and I would just flip, and one side is grid, one side is hex, and I would just flip between the two and maybe one smaller one, and that's all I've ever really needed for any kind of campaigns that I've ran over the past 20 something years. But if you're not looking to draw your own, the folks over at Dungeon Craft do have a great series of paper maps that you can go ahead and get with a variety of different monster tokens and things. This is the Cursed Land, which is 1,000 fantasy tabletop role-playing terrain tiles, as you can see here. These obviously get down flat pack. I think we have reviews of this here on the channel. You can go check it out. But for $32, you're getting a ton of map terrain and tokens that are all flat pack because they're just folded up pieces of paper. High quality paper, but paper nonetheless. Same thing with this, right? We have the big book of battle maps. As you can see, you have a variety of them here on the back. It's basically, it says here 5e compatible, but let's be real. Any game can use these. Any TTRPG can use these. You have a variety of useful things from just plains to stone tiles to ruins to lava, you name it. And again, for $24, that's a pretty sizable amount of maps for a cheap price. Speaking of cheap price and flat pack, our good friends over here at Arc Knight have a variety of different miniatures for sale here. So this is the DM starter set. It's 167 unique miniatures for D&D or Pathfinder, or really whatever you want, for $63. So as you can see, these are all flat pack acrylic miniatures. You can see all of them here if you'd like to see how many there are. And then they come with the, as you can see here, they're double-sided, where one is kind of the front of the creature, the other is the back of the creature. And then they have the little acrylic bases. And then, again, you can carry a ton of miniatures in a very small footprint. Again, I have a ton of miniatures from WizKids and other creators and other companies, and they're fantastic, but if you don't have a place to store and display them, flat pack minis get the job done, and they take up almost no space. We're also working in the world of battle maps and things where we're playing in person. Again, I've talked about it before, flying miniature stands. You'd be surprised how often elevation and verticality comes into play in your D&D campaigns. So having various tiers is definitely going to be useful, especially these, because you can color one side for the tens of feet and the other side for single feet. So if you're 45 feet up, color the 40 and the 5, and now you have a tracker of where the character is that's on top of the stand. We also have some AoE kind of spell templates. These are really good if you're looking to say, hey, we're throwing a fireball. What's the, here it is. You can see on this, right, it has cones and areas of effects. You just overlay the templates. There's a variety of different versions of these. This is also only $7 right now. So this is a 30-foot cube and 30-foot cone. As you can see right here, it has a variety of different options on it. For $7 is nice to have. If you're looking for something a little bit more in the world of 3D chess, but also a flying, stand for your D&D game, we have this. Again, CZYY has a ton of great tabletop products out there. Obviously, if you're going to be dealing with a pretty intense vertical combat, we're going to have multiple tiers. This may be more your style. And again, here's a couple other templates. These are only $13. Again, some acrylic templates here where we can see they have, the different radius and things pointed out on them. We have circles, squares, lines, and cones. couple of dice towers. I thought maybe we'd try something a little bit different. This one's a little bit interesting. $48 does feel like a lot for this tiny little dice tower, but if you're looking for a little display piece with some LED lighting inside it, maybe this is more your speed. For a little bit less money, we have a more kind of basic D&D tower here, just a little kind of parapet with a little tray at the bottom. Or if you're looking for something that maybe folds up, we have this velvet and leather tower that, again, we have the dice tray on the bottom that flat pack folds up, so you don't have to worry about storing it. And then again, you have a quick ready to go dice tower and tray on the go. All right, next up, we're in Dice Town for a little bit here, so bear with me. I tried to grab a variety of different cool looking dice. As many of you may have seen on social media, I just did a Hobbit Thanksgiving where we watched the entirety of the Lord of the Rings trilogy extended editions and did the various Hobbit meals throughout the day. So Lord of the Rings has been on my brain lately. And when I saw these One Ring dice, I said, I gotta put these on here. For $25, you can get a variety of different color options of, as you can see, a whole bunch of different, full set of 7 dice with One Ring inclusions inside them, whether that's, this red and white or red or purple. If you have a D&D player out there that you're looking to shop for and they're also a fan of the Lord of the Rings, which I'd say most of us are, but I'm not going to paint that brush over everybody. This may be a cool little fun thing for them to have, especially if you're playing, now that we know the Lord of the Rings role-playing game is on D&D Beyond, if you're going to be playing D&D with a Lord of the Rings setting, maybe these are the perfect dice to play in that setting with. Next up, we have a fidget spinner, but it's also a dice set. So as you can see here, it is a D12, D8, and D4. And I think we have a little video here that we can showcase that show it spinning. Yeah. So again, a functional fidget spinner for the folks at your table. You can spin it around and then see how we do here, right? What the different numbers we're going to get on our fidget spinner. And, like I said, it's a functional fidget spinner. It has a variety of different color options depending on what you're looking for. And, if you have to use a D12, D8, or D6 in a pinch, D12, D8, D4 in a pinch, it's odd that it doesn't have D6 or D20. I feel like you could have just made it bigger and gotten all the dice, but either way. If you want some fancy glowing dice, because this seems to be the next step of dice in the world we live in TTRPG spaces, it is glow LED dice. This is probably some of the cheapest I've seen at $15. You can go ahead and it all looks like they charge here in this case. Yep, press and pull charging box, the Type-C charging interface, and the dice kind of sit in there and they charge up. And they're also, these ones happen to be waterproof. And we have a variety of different options here for LED dice, if that's more what you're looking for. Again, $15 isn't that bad. And this may be a good, again, these aren't that big. These could be great stocking stuffer stuff too as well. All right, how about some metal dice? Haxtech has a whole bunch of D&D products, and they have a ton of metal dice for a variety of different things. We have some of these here are glow in the dark. We have these ones that come with a dice bag. We have these, variety of the ones with the dragon designs. We have these, those ones are kind of cool with the fire. Again, this is a bloody dragon. We have these kind of just bloody metal dice as well. Consider that if you are buying metal dice, that if your folks are going to be rolling on a wooden table, that they might want to have some sort of tray or tower or something to roll into, as metal dice, before you know it, can do a pretty big number on a wooden table, especially a soft wooden table that may or may not have a thick layer of varnish or something on top of it. But also, a set of 7 metal dice for $14 is a pretty good deal, considering Chessex usually runs you close to that. So, again, here's more of these. I just wanted to showcase the dragon design as well, something a little bit more unique. Then we have some of these interesting ones, again, from our friends over at Haxtech, is this D20 necklace or keychain, but inside it, it keeps a full set of miniature 7 dice. Now, I'm no stranger to the mini dice from a variety of different companies make these and have different, receptacles to keep these in, but I've never seen them housed inside a die. So they have, looks like antique iron, antique copper, and antique bronze. but to see them inside either a keychain that's shaped like a D20 or a necklace that's shaped like a D20 is something I have not seen before. And it looks like the clasp is what keeps things closed. So I would be potentially mindful if you're a little rough on this necklace because it doesn't look like I don't see any magnetic closures. It looks like purely the lobster claw clasp is the only thing holding this dice holder closed. So I could see the instance where these end up falling out. But again, who knows? Maybe this is the perfect gift for you or that special someone for $17. All right. How about just a big old set of dice? I've bought this times in the past. For $28, you're going to get 25 sets of 7 polyhedral dice. You're going to get some more standard colors, maybe some translucent, but then you'll also get some interesting marbled colors as well, and you get the dice bag on top of that. I really like this. It gives you a variety of different colors. If you are playing at a shop, maybe, and or a convention, and you want to have dice for your various players that you don't really care about, these aren't your special dice. For $28, I also just like to have extra dice around if people come over and we're going to get into a game. It's unexpected. I can just give somebody a set of dice and I can let them walk with it because it's not going to really matter to me because these dice are just kind of giveaway dice. All right, if you want something a little bit more fancy, our friends over at Ultra Pro have this set of 7 Underdark metal dice here. And you can see they are with the D&D ampersand on the highest, it looks like the highest face of all of these dice. And they do come in this nice kind of felt-lined case to store them all in. Again, $37 might be a little much for a set of dice, but these are officially licensed, so I guess that's probably where most of the cost is going. I thought these were really pretty with the koi fish inside them. Again, a little bit more of a, these are liquid core as well. So if you're unfamiliar with liquid core dice, probably self-explanatory. But if you look at this, you can kind of see how there is a circle inside of the square. Basically, what they do is they fill that circle with some sort of liquid, and it looks like it. I can't tell if the koi are inside the liquid core or not, or they're inside as an inclusion around it. But it usually has some sort of glitter, or sometimes it's glow in the dark. And essentially, it's encapsulated inside the resin of the dice around it. So when you roll it or shake it, that liquid swirls around and you get to see that effect. And that's always really cool to me. I really like liquid core dice, but these ones having the koi fish inside it, I really like. It kind of reminds me, although the colors aren't perfect, it reminds me of the water spirits from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, obviously, there are a variety of different color options here. As you can see, we have ones with, the big eye in the middle. We have different ones with the kind of koi fish in different color. Or, it looks like there's might be ones with just kind of generic. Again, I really like liquid core dice. I think they're pretty cool. And again, especially if they're becoming more and more popular now. But a couple years ago, I feel like nobody had liquid core dice, so it was a really unique thing to have, and it was definitely like a cool showstopper piece at the table. All right, next up, again, another cup of just random dice, whether you wanted to go something a little bit more themed to D&D. We have the Wiz Dice Cup of Wonder. So this is 35 unique D&D dice sets, and it comes with, again, the shaker cup, as well as the sort of mimic box that they all come in. So it has 35 polyhedral dice, and a box for storage, 5 sets of unique colors. So it looks like these are all just kind of random dice mixed in here. 7 unique D&D sets of 5 per cup. So a little bit different. $16. Maybe you don't want to get as many sets. Something a little bit different here. Just a metal, cool looking coin, because technically D2s do exist, which is just flipping a coin. We have a success and failure on a metal coin here. Uh, Sometimes you don't want to flip just a standard quarter at the table. You want something a little bit fancy. Maybe you want to spin it at the table and let it fall that way. There you go. All right, this is another set. I thought I must have grabbed this one twice. Whoops. Anyway, we'll keep moving on. All right, I've used these before, but I think they're pretty cool. These are the CZYY bullet dice. So you basically get the chamber here with the whole cylinder for what would normally, I guess, be a revolver. And then you have the entire set of dice in here, right? You could see the 4, 6, 8, 10 percentile, 12, and 20. And then the actual bullets themselves, as you were to roll them, have Again, the different numbers on the side, you can see they kind of are more or less the same size. Where is it? As a regular old D20. But yeah, it's just a cool statement piece. Obviously, if you're going to be playing like a gunslinger, this is probably even better for you. And again, you obviously don't have to get for just the standard metallic colors. They do also have pastels, red, even a little purple there as well. This one, I guess if you're in case of emergency, right, for $3 or $3.99, you can get this tiny little keychain with these tiny little set of dice inside them. I mean, good luck not losing them, or good luck being able to read them. But even some of those mini dice we saw in the other side, like here's a standard D6 and there's this D6 to give you an idea of the size. Because there are technically multiple sizes of dice, right? I would call that D6 a standard D6, and then there's like mini dice, and then I would guess I would call these micro dice, which are even smaller. But again, this tiny little container does house them. You can get, obviously, this one is in a bullet. It says roll for initiative, and it has the dice inside it. We have this little black keychain, and then a kind of copper roll for initiative bullet necklace. The bullet necklace is a little bit more, whereas this red one here is only $3.99. Again, if you really find yourself in that much of a pinch that you don't have access to dice, you can't pull up a dice roller on your phone or whatever, or you just want to have a fun little accessory to throw as, like, on your keys or on a backpack or whatever, this could be a cool little thing to have. And again, could make for a fun little present as well. All right, what do we got next up? Mystery dice. Maybe you don't want to know what dice you're getting. Our friends over at 1985 Games are only for $7. This is a great, you want to talk about a stocking stuffer here, is any variety here. We have holiday mystery dice. We have premium mystery dice. We have resin mystery dice. You pick which one you want. The standard kind of mystery dice here are only $7. The holiday does not look like it's on sale at the moment. So the mystery dice is the big one, right, for $7. That's the definitely one you want to go for. The premium ones are only 12 though, so consider that, right? You can see a variety of different options here. And then obviously if you want to go with the resin dice, that's going to be a little bit more at $23, but you also can buy them in packs of 6. Again, great to give out to your table if you are a player and you want to give something nice to your DM as a present, or DM can get presents for the players, or just again for the special people and D&D TTRPG players in your life. Another great, cool, fun thing are silicone dice. I also love these red ones because they remind me of Pokeballs. If you haven't rolled with silicone dice, it is a wild experience. Talk about rolling dice with none of the click-clack sound and muted, and they kind of bounce around. They're definitely a different experience if you haven't tried them, but they also could be really great if you're a podcaster or somebody and you don't want to hear the dice rolling sounds, although I think it really adds to the ambiance when you can hear the dice rolling. But if that's something you want to do, consider getting yourself a set of silicone dice. And what about the person who has all the dice and doesn't know what they want to do with it? Well, how about a dice display? This is the first time I'm seeing this myself, so it obviously has the opportunity to display what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different sets of dice here. It does also say it is 98% UV protection. I don't know how that works in there, but I guess it's part of it. But yeah, if you have, it's got a wall hanger on the back. If you have a specific set of dice or series of dice that you want to display, right? If you're a collector of gemstone dice, perhaps. And while gemstone dice are really cool to have, I personally don't feel great rolling gemstone dice because I don't want to break them. Like, as a geologist, I mess around with rocks and stuff all the time. But when you get them down to that perfect face to be a die, it's cool and you want to roll with them. But I also kind of just want to get them as a display piece and put them on a shelf. And this is a pretty cool thing. It looks like it's specifically designed for this, which I haven't seen something like this before. Although $55 may be a little bit of, a rough price to manage. Now, this was something I had not seen before. This dragon egg set of dice for $52. You open up the egg here, kind of very Game of Thrones looking. And then inside, very similar to the revolver with the bullet dice, you have various egg dice here. So again, a similar concept in design, but I just hadn't seen this dragon egg one, so I thought that was worth calling out. What else we got? All right, how about some storage for things. We have miniature storage here. For $29, we have, again, this pull-apart foam for storing your variety of different miniatures, whether it be for D&D or Warhammer or what have you. We have a smaller version of it here as well if you don't need as much. This is only $17 for basically the one layer, whereas this was $29 for what looks like it could be up to 3 layers. Well, how about transporting all this stuff if you got to go play D&D, whether that's at a local game shop, library, friend's house, or what have you? I thought it would be worth to put in a couple of different options for backpacks. So this is obviously a specifically designed backpack for playing D&D. As you can see, it has spots for the maps on the top. It has various cushioning pads. It has these extra things on the top here for storing miniatures or dice. And then again, we have little spots designed to hold a bunch of books, and then have the little fold out here for your pens, pencils, notebooks, and they're obviously showing somebody trekking to somebody else's house to play D&D. If you want something a little bit smaller, we have this backpack, a little bit on the smaller side, although the price is about the same, showcasing a variety of different options, again, for storing miniatures or dice. Here's, again, a little look at what the inside storage looks like. And then, again, a couple of options for tubes on the back to store maps and things. How about a DM screen, right? I have my thoughts and feelings about the 2024 Dungeon Master screen. I don't love it, but if that doesn't, you want something customizable by yourself and you just want something that's going to look cool for the players to see, well, this kind of dragon mimic roll for initiative one, again, from our friends over at CZYY, is pretty awesome. Again, you're going to, I think, have to design your own things to put on the other side because I don't believe it comes with all of this information. But either way, you can go ahead and figure out there's a bunch of people who've done resource videos on what they put behind their DM screen, and you should be able to just go ahead and print those out for yourself. Man, you want to talk about something that blew my mind when I made the last video, something like this that people went nuts for. It's these D&D random sticker packs. And honestly, the stickers are high quality. I have bought a couple of these myself, and it's just kind of fun because you never know what you're going to get. I've seen a handful of these myself. Like I have this D&D one. I have the Dungeons and Dragons that looks like the Starbucks logo, right? And you can see there's a variety of different options. There's some classic cartoon characters. There's just general ones that are about the various classes, things about the Dungeon Master. Again, we have a bunch of the different ones here for the classic cartoon. But I just had some really cool ones that I got in my set that I really, really liked. So you never really know what you're going to get. This is $5 for 100 vinyl stickers. These are waterproof. These are good quality stickers. Again, a great gift for the D&D player in your life, or for you if you want to do giveaways. If you're a content creator just doing giveaways, these are great for that. Or just, again, to keep them for yourself. This is a 100 pack. I believe we also have a 200 pack. I believe these are from different companies. The 200 pack's only $7, and it looks like there are some different stickers in here. So it might be worth kind of buying both and just there. I do see some that are the same though, so consider that. But either way, a couple of different options to pick up some stickers that you can maybe use for yourself or for others. And then if you're looking more in the world of vinyl pins, our friends over at 1985 Games also do have a variety of different pin options for you. Again, some from, just generic gamer life, but also some various D&D ones. Or this one here for $5 is a mystery pin. You never know what you're going to get. So here's a kind of gelatinous cube and, the 1985's Games Mimic. Again, people like enamel pins just like they like stickers. So there we go. All right, if you're going to be at a table and you need an initiative tracker, there's a variety of different things you can do. I myself was always a person who would put, folded up cards, hang them on my DM screen. But if you want something a little bit different, a little bit more of a showpiece out in the open that everybody can easily see, one of these, again from CZYY, one of these kind of just this badass looking sword that you just stick a variety of dry erase little tiles inside that you can track everybody's initiative that way. I've talked about these countless times. I will continue to sing the praises of Link's condition markers. You can see right here, it speaks for itself, 4.8 stars for 2,000 ratings on these. These are some of the best condition markers you will find for any D&D or RPG campaign. As you can see here, they do fit around the various miniatures depending on how you want to use them. You get 4 of each condition, which you can see all of them here: blessed, blind, charmed, grappled, and so on. They even have extra ones here for physical effect and magical effect. They are $30. This is a little bit off of their standard price of usually around $40 or $37. I highly recommend, if you're going to be looking for condition trackers in some instances, you absolutely pick these up. I actually have 2 sets of these myself that I have just to have on hand in case I ever need to use them. Definitely, definitely worth picking up. And then another thing that I often like from the folks over at Lynx, which I think I put these on here twice by accident. I did. There it is again. Whoops. Well, I skipped ahead, so let's just keep going. We'll get back to the next Lix thing in a minute, but we'll jump over to terrain a little bit. If you're looking for some on the not as intensive as one needing to be painted and 2 the price of something like Dwarven Forge, Monster makes some excellent terrain options. You might have seen these folks out at various conventions. They have this kind of clear base that all of their pieces click into, as you can kind of see here. And then again, this is just a painted palisade option. Also, all of their terrain pieces are pre-painted. Here is just, again, more of their base terrain pieces, just the base clear plastic. And then here's another set here. This is the, what is this? The painted forest terrain, which obviously you can see we have a variety of options here as well. And again, they're relatively affordable for the amount of terrain that you're going to get, which is usually one of the biggest things that turns people off for terrain. All right, here it is. The other Lynx product that I really like, again, 4.7 stars, 400 ratings, are these health potion trackers. So they basically are going to give you a handful of little potion bottles, as you can see here, from base, greater, supreme, and superior, or whatever the order technically is. The little kind of potion bottle baubles are there for you to just have at your table as physical reminders of those potions. I don't know how many times I've been in campaigns where people didn't realize that they had potions because they were buried in their inventory somewhere, whereas having the little physical marker goes a long way to kind of say, oh, hey, yes, I do have however many regular versus greater healing potions. And then they also come with the little potion-shaped dice that correspond with the color. So as you can see, the yellow on the bottom are standard healing potions, and it gives you 2 4-sided yellow healing potions to represent a standard healing potion, 2d4 plus 2. The greater gives you the 4 orange, and so on. They also do include these little cards that walk you through what the pricing is, in case anybody, or not the pricing, but what the healing is, in case anybody forgot the difference between superior and supreme. And I don't know, I think they're just a nice little extra thing to have at the table, and it's only 20 bucks. How about a set of brushes, right? I couldn't find any great paint sets on sale for Cyber Monday. There may have been some, but I didn't see it. But I will tell you something that any painter will definitely need is a set of good brushes. And these look to be a variety of awesome brushes in a variety of different designs. I've never actually seen one with the kind of curved tip like that, which I can definitely see how useful that could be. Again, for 21 brushes here for $21. So about $1 a brush. And it looks like you're getting a variety of different options here with different size tips. So always a good bonus there if you are looking to get into painting or continue your painting journey. And lastly again, we talked about coffee at the beginning, snacks. And in this instance, candy. So I thought I'd pick out 2 of my favorite kinds of candy that I saw that were on sale. One is this 60 bar pack of Airheads are on sale for $8.36. I love Airheads. I remember when they first came out, how much I used to love these back in elementary school. And obviously, a lot of folks do as well, considering it has 4.8 stars for 76,000 ratings here on Amazon. And it's that seems criminal. $8 for 60 Airheads? Think about how much you pay for them if you were to buy them individually in a store. That's ridiculous. You can't beat that price. And they have, what? What? Sour Airheads? When was this a thing? Okay, well, that's something I'm going to have to buy now. Anyway, and then lastly, my other favorite thing are Haribo Gold Bears. Man, I am a sucker for Haribo Gold Bears. I love gummy bears. That's like one of my favorite candy treats of all time. Ever since, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, ever since I stopped liking chocolate, I've replaced chocolate with like gummy candy as like my go-to favorite candy. So yeah, you know what? Honestly, it seems cliche and it's kind of a joke in some instances, but you're going over to play D&D, no dungeon master's going to look, they may have issues with what's going on, but you bring the DM a bunch of candy, you're probably going to get slightly more favorable treatment if you bring the DM candy and bribe him with it. I'm not condoning bribing your DM with candy or snacks, but I'm just saying it can't hurt. So, anyway, that's my sort of very lengthy rundown of a bunch of different things I thought were awesome here on Cyber Monday, various deals and things. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Hopefully, you're able to snag some of these deals while they're still available, and whether, again, they're for you or for somebody else in your life. I hope it helps. And if somebody wants a different guide of other stuff for, holiday season or whatever, I can definitely do so. This is just right here, right now. I can make another video as we get a little bit closer if folks are interested. Again, sound off in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.